Hello all, welcome back to my YouTube channel Let's Crack It, and today I'm back with a new video about the Capgemini interview experience. This is a recent video and both the TR and HR questions are I'm going to mention in this video. And this guy got selected after completion of this interview. And if you are not yet subscribed, subscribe to my channel. And here comes the very first question, and this is the most anticipated question ever. So self-introduction, I have already mentioned in my previous videos about the importance of self-introduction. So every interviewer gonna ask this question to test your confidence and to test your communication and everything. So how do you need to frame this answer? You guys must prioritize this question, like prioritize what to tell in the self-introduction. You can include several things in the self-introduction, like you can include your qualifications, you can include hobbies, you can include your skills. Actually, this is the most important thing. You can include all your skills and weaknesses, strengths, everything. You can include anything, but I avoid including the personal details or family details, such kind of stuff. And guys, definitely I'm gonna say that your interview will be impacted by what you tell in your self introduction. Definitely whatever you speak in your introduction, it will have an impact on the interviewer, and also his kind of questions gonna ask you. That's it. And here comes the second question. Before that, if you are not yet subscribed to my channel, subscribe it and hit the bell icon, and Let's Crack It is our channel. So this his question was, why what did you do in 1 year period as you are a 2020 pass out? So actually this guy was 2020 pass out. He got a gap, educational gap, and he was asked to explain the reason. So this question is a very personal question. Different people will be having different reasons, but all you need to do is that you need to give some acceptable answer, like some family problems or health issues, and this kind of problem. You can give any kind of reason, whatever you want, frame the reason properly. Then here comes the next question. This guy was shown some program, like a program was shown related to the exception handling and asked to explain. So for those who don't know about exception handling, I will be telling you. For example, suppose that you have written a code and it contains several statements, statement 1, and here comes statement 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. For example, there comes an error at line 4, some error or exception. So without using exception handling, everything under this line, like all the statement after fourth statement will not be executed. So here some disturbance is created, disturbance after the line 4. So the code will not be executed from here. So instead, if you use the exception handling, what happens? Exception handling is a powerful mechanism through which the flow of execution will not be disturbed. Like even though error occurred at line 4, all other statements will be implemented without any disturbance. So I'm gonna say that this is the most powerful, one of the powerful techniques we have in Java, like exception handling. There are also names of exceptions like SQL exception, class not found exception, exception, like this. I hope I'm clear enough, guys. And then he was asked to differentiate between the abstraction and interface. So I think mentioning like 3 or 4 differences is enough in the interview. Like some of the important differences we can say that. So for example, if we consider abstraction and interface, so abstraction doesn't support multiple inheritance. Multiple inheritance is not supported. So but here the multiple inheritance is supported in interfaces. And we can also tell another difference, like it can have final variables, non-final, and static and non-static variables, whereas inheritance cannot have non-final and non-static. It can only have final and static variables. So for another difference, we can also say that abstraction provides the implementation of interface. So but here interface cannot provide the implementation for abstraction. So I think these are some of the key differences between abstraction and interface. And here comes the fifth question. He was asked to tell about the recursion and give an example. So guys, basically recursion means any function calling itself is called recursion. So let me explain. Suppose that there is a function f1. So there are a lot of statements included in the function. So if function f1 is calling itself, this is called a recursive function. So let us consider this is a normal function because this f1 function is not calling itself within the function. So some other function, let me consider f2. And in this statement, somewhere if it is calling the f2 again, see, somewhere this function is calling f2. So then this is considered as a recursive function. Let me explain it with the example. Suppose if you want to find out the sum of values up to n is equals to 5, and let me initiate sum is equals to 0. I'm going to use a function called sample, and sample of int n. This is the parameter I'm passing. Now if n is equals to 0 and double equals to 0, return sum. I will be returning sum. Else I'll be doing some operation. What is that? Sum plus is equals to sample of, I'm decreasing by 1 unit, n minus 1. I hope you guys have clearly understood about this concept, because in this sample function, inside of the sample function, we called itself again. Hence, it is termed as a recursive function. And here comes some very basic HR questions like you can expect in any interview. The one of the most common one is, why do we need to hire you? So most of the guys get confused what to tell in this for this question. Simply be genuine and straightforward. Like, why do we need to hire you? You can include points like, I possess all the skills required for this job role. This is the one of the best points you need to include. All the required skills for this job role. And you can also say that definitely this company, like for here Capgemini. Capgemini is one of the top companies. So I want to work in this company with all my dedication and hard work. So I hope I'm a suitable candidate for this role. You can include this kind of points. And also you can say that I hope I have met all the conditions and the standards set by the company to work as an employee in your company. I mean the requirements. And you can also include your behavior or characters like I'm hardworking, like also dedicated. So these kind of adjectives definitely uh, helps you. And in many ways this it can also be answered in different ways. So I have told you one of the ways. And here comes the next question, like problems faced during the project. Guys, you can include what are the problems faced during a group project. Actually this can also be answered in several ways, but you can always tell about the problem faced due to lockdown, that you cannot meet person to person, so you guys have met in the online platforms or online meetings. So this is one of the difficulties faced by you, not meeting physically and contributing toward the group project, one of the problems. And then comes what do you know about the Capgemini? Not only Capgemini, here whatever the company you take, before attending the interview, so you need to know something about the company, like you need to google on something like what is this company into, like what are the services offered by the company, services offered. And also you can something elevate this company, like it is one of the top companies, one of the top MNCs. And you can include some other details like recent projects that the company has overtaken, big projects you can include. And so still you can include several stuff, other stuff. Just go on googling something about the company.